caution was coming, so I might as well just back off and save my tires. I knew that debris caution was coming, but you know, we got to do what is right for the fans, and you know, they need to see a great race at the end, and it's just the best car won. That's all you can ask for.
Denny Hamlin, 5th win in 2010, his first here at Michigan.
And Matt, it's his 13th career win. You remember last week at Pocono, he busted up the nose when he was doing burnouts. All clean pulling into victory lane today for Denny Hamlin at Michigan. More to come after a break.
NASCAR Sprint Cup Racing from Michigan, presented by Captain Morgan on TNT, is brought to you by the Home Depot. More saving, more doing. That's the power of the Home Depot. By the all-new 2011 Super Duty, built for tough. By Aflac, we've got you under our wing. And by Coca-Cola Zero, real Coke taste and 0 calories.
Denny Hamlin, the man today at Michigan. He takes Joe Gibbs to victory lane for the 84th time in his career as an owner. And now we look back at today's unofficial results. Casey Kane, Kurt Busch, the other two drivers that dominated this race, and Dale Earnhardt Jr. in 7th today, Wally.
Yeah, like I said, good run for those guys. That's the track that they need to be on. Good run for Biffle. Carl Edwards rounds out the top 12.
Yeah, and I think there was a lot of talk about the Ford teams coming in here. I think they had a really respectable showing today. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
At a place like this is a tough place to get a handle on the racetrack and the engine. Kenseth finished 14th. You go down the list. Mark won on fuel mileage, but I mean, Mark was just never in the race. Ambrose comes back from that spin early.
McMurray started out front today. Good qualifying run, but he finished in the 24th position.
A couple of those guys like Boyer and the 29 car, their finishes are not indicative. I think just the last 10 or 15 laps, they just couldn't get track position like they needed.
Casey Mears spent time in the garage feuding with his teammate. 36th is where the 83 car ended up today. Here are those drivers that did not finish the race. Ralph with Casey Kane.
Casey, a lot of water spewing out of this car throughout the race. Was it as much of an issue as it looked like?
No, it wasn't a big deal. We just got a little bit hot, got some debris on the front, but the team did a nice job today, the whole Budweiser Ford team. They really did a nice job. I was happy with everything. Denny was a little bit better than us at the end, you know, but we had a good battle throughout the race. I battled with Jimmy and Kurt, and it was pretty exciting. So I was happy. Kenny Francis did a nice job. It's nice to get a good finish. We've had some ups and downs throughout the season, so it's nice to get a good solid finish.
Yeah, you let me in on the conversation you had with your crew. You had to be thrilled with their performance today.
I was happy with them. They, you know, all the pit stops, if we lost any, it was just a little bit, you know, 3-4 spots, and that's much better than the past 2 months. So I was really happy with them. They did a nice job, and we still have a lot to work on, to keep working hard on, and I do, and the team does, and we're going to keep doing that if we want to try to win a race.
Now it's on to Infineon Raceway, a place where Casey Kane has won before.
Kurt Busch, a solid run all day long, ended up with a 3rd place finish.
Yeah, it was a great effort by our Miller Lite Dodge team. I mean, we had a strong car early on, and it just seemed like we lost a little bit of speed as the race went on. Just a little bit of lack of grip, track rubbering in, and we made good adjustments, had solid pit stops. You know, that's what this game's all about. This is Cup. This isn't any other racing in the world where if you're off a little bit, people are going to go by you. So hats off to my guys, especially the guys back at the shop building these great cars. We keep advancing every time we bring a car to the racetrack, as well as the engine shop. Just a good day here in Michigan to qualify on pole, lead a lot of laps, and finish 3rd. It's a solid day.
That's how you make a chase.
Thank you. I appreciate it. We'll keep digging. It's that Vortex bottle on the side of that Dodge.
All right, thanks, Kurt.
What a solid and impressive day for Dale Earnhardt Jr. Comes home 7th place. And how hard were you racing Jeff Burton there at the end for 7th, my man?
Hard enough to stay in front of him. He had a better car right there, and you know, I'd been running the bottom, but he was coming, so I felt like I could hold my own on the bottom in 1 and 2 and run around the middle of 3 and 4, and my momentum would keep me ahead of him, and it worked.
Listening to you on the radio today, it sounded like you had fun. You enjoyed this race today. What was different with the car today?
I enjoyed the car all day. Lance and the AMP Industry Nascar team did a good job all weekend, really. But we were happy in race trim. We just didn't have any speed in qualifying, so it was fun to drive. Matt Kenseth was better. There was a bunch of cars. Obviously, everybody in front of us was better, but we felt like we had a top 10 car, and we were able to show it today. that caution come out and got me worried what the hell is going to happen here. So, but we were on the good end of it for a change. I just want to thank all my sponsors and the team and everybody back at the shop. The engines are great and the cars are bulletproof, and this is the kind of runs we want to have. So this equipment can do it. The guys taking it to the racetrack just got to get it right, and we did pretty good today.
A fun day. It's a good day for Dale Earnhardt Jr. comes home 7th.
Tony Stewart, I talked to you after last week's race at Pocono, and you weren't that happy with a top 5 finish. This looks like a little better top 5 finish. What do you think?
Yeah, we drove our way up there today, so really proud of Darian and everybody on the Office Depot Old Spice team. They did a great job this week. I feel like we're starting to gain on it. So, 2 good runs in a row, 2 top 5s in a row. That's exactly what this team needs right now.
You come in here 1 point out of the top 12, and you keep putting top 5s together, you're going to be up in that top 12.
Yeah, I mean, we just got to keep plugging away and doing what we do. I mean, I'm not as panicked about the top 12 right now as I think some of the other guys that are close to that bubble. So we just got to keep going out, and if we keep rifling off top 5s like this, we won't have to worry about it. We'll be there.
All right, good job, buddy.
Thanks, man.
Another top 5 for Tony Stewart.
And Phil, Tony Stewart was in the top 5 at Bristol, hadn't been there since last week, and now he's put together 2 in a row, and it pays dividends in the points. Stewart into the top 12. He was not entering the week, as Phil pointed out, and Harvick continues to lead. Greg Biffle also gained some ground. And now you look at those outside the top 12. Clint Boyer has dropped out, and Dale Earnhardt Jr. moves up 2 positions to 14th.
But that I'm from 11th to about 16th or 17th. That's still tight. That's a one-race swing right there. You know what I mean? And that's why these guys got to grind these finishes out, just like Junior was talking. We just got to do this. We got to grind this out.
Next Sunday, NASCAR on TNT heads to California. Coverage begins at 2 p.m. Eastern with Countdown to Green. That's followed by the Toyota Save Mart 350 from Sonoma. That's next Sunday on TNT. Coming up next on TNT, All Worked Up. And now you can head to NASCAR.com for the NASCAR on TNT post-race show. Interviews, analysis, and more. Live now on NASCAR.com. Denny Hamlin, the dominating race car here today. He gets his 5th win of the season. For Wally Dallenbach and Kyle Petty, I'm Adam Alexander. So long from the Irish Hills of Michigan.